first round is very important, and for me it was actually equal. It was not like high difference. It was small difference between.
Yeah, we were close. In the match, during the match, I felt like he was just kicking my butt. Like I felt like I didn't have anything. But then I got to see a couple of the videos that people had posted of the match later, and I could see where he would surge and his hand would give a little bit. Like it made me feel like I was actually more in the match than I felt like I was during the match.
Yeah, it was really more, and about first round it was struggle both sides.
Yeah.
It was not like nothing, because even sometimes like you have 5% more than your like opponent, it can be like really one-sided.
It looks like,
but here it was absolutely not. After, of course, it's like, but because first round, both of you try to go in top row in first round, so that's how it is. I want to ask you about how you feel about other organizations, because you also you watch the matches, rest of them. Which was like most surprised for you? Which was upset match of the night for you? And which was most interesting fight match for you?
Well, I thought the best match of the night was the Jerry Gennady match. Jerry and Gennady put on a show. Like it was a really good match. I actually thought Jerry would win that match, but if anybody could have figured out a way to beat Jerry's move, it would have been Gennady, and he didn't let us down. He looked really, really good. So I really enjoyed that match. It was fun. It was exciting. I thought John would beat Kurdecha. But I told my wife, I said, if anybody could beat John, it's going to be him, because he's so technical. He knows how to use that top roll and that pronation to attack somebody's hand, and he did just that, and he basically wore John out. So that was a very, very interesting as well.
Yeah.
And I never in the world thought Dave would lose to Artem.
Yeah.
I knew Artem was strong, but Dave's just crazy strong.
Yeah.
And that was probably the biggest surprise.
Yeah.
Is him beating Dave personally. But
and also it was interesting because the starting matches between Dave and Gennady, Dave and Artem, they start in first round probably in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It was not like too much struggle in the center, too much struggle here. It was like Dave just make a pin, And after that, with Gennady also first 2 rounds it was like that. With Artem, it starts changing in round number 2. With Gennady, it starts changing in round number 3.
Yeah.
What do you think about Dave just need to change something, or it's more about his opponents, or it's more about Dave?
I think it's Dave's endurance. I don't think Artem got smarter in round 2. I think he just outlasted Dave. Does that make sense? I think Dave just, for some reason, his training his prep isn't getting him endurance, and he's getting too much of a pump. Mm-hmm. And why that is, I don't know, because he's crazy strong. And I think that Dave his training might be built more for like a tournament type event where he gets to rest a little bit between matches.
Mm-hmm.
Where this one, he's got to go back up and pull the same guy over and over again.
Yeah, like 2 minutes between rounds.
Yeah, and I think he's not recovering quick enough.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I don't think, like, Artem was impressive. Like, he withstood that and was amazing, but I don't think that he like changed up much in between matches. I think Dave just wore out. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah. And what do you think about, for example, some potential matches in the future? Like if it will be Dave versus, for example, another Georgian beast, Revaz Lutidze. I don't know how many matches you watched because he's just come back after some break.
I actually was in when I was in Turkey the last time for the World Championships in 2018. I watched him give Levon a match there. Like he actually almost took Levon's hand and beat him that day.
Yeah.
So I've been impressed with him since way back then. He's always been really good. He, from what I understand, he just doesn't take it very serious. And his hand control seems ridiculous. And that's something that Dave struggles with, is someone who's got a really strong hand. So that would be a tough match for me to call, because Dave's like brute strong, and he's strong as well. You know, his technique, I think, would be tough for Dave personally.
Yeah, and now Jerry, actually the official winner of official match. I can say that he's officially right there in the rankings, because we can say anything, but we have the results, official results. And next match will be with Ermes Gasparini. And what do you think about this match? How you feel it can be, in which way?
So I think that Ermes is better than anybody in the world at what he does. Like that top roll is insane. Like, he's really good at it. And Jerry's the best at what he does in the world. So it's going to be like two polar opposites clashing. Jerry's got tons of endurance. He can sit up there in that position all day long. And Ermes seems like he's got a lot of endurance. But I don't know. I just think Jerry's just a large human being with a ton of down pressure. And they're going to be in a strap, and I think that it's hard for me to bet against Jerry. I
understand, of course.
I would think that Jerry wins that match as well. Because, like with Gennady, he can do so many different things. I just don't know how much more Ermes can do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
He does that top roll really well, but can he transition to a press? Can he drop his hand and grab a little bit lower and maybe put a hook on Jerry? I don't know. I've never seen him do that stuff.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. It will be, honestly, like you said, it's like opposite styles.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one, like top row, you need to pull high, and press down, you press down in that direction. So it's opposite styles. It will be very important.
It seems to me like this takes less energy than this.
Yeah, because here you use more the waist of your body.
Exactly.
I think, yes,
exactly. And Jerry's got a big body, so I just think that's a disadvantage for Ermes.
Yeah, and your match was like for the title match of the left hand. You with Morozo, and now it was said before, like Morozo versus Ermes. They like not so different in the body size. But I think a little bit different in the style of pulling. What do you think about this match? It will be left hand, yeah.
I actually think Artem will win that match as well. I've only seen Ermes arm wrestle once left-handed, and that was against Wagner.
Bartolotto, yeah.
And Ermes dominated that one. I think that, like, I've never felt anybody as strong as Artem. Like, his wrist and hand was crazy strong. And I knew out of the strap, like when we hit the first time, I knew I couldn't match his hand. I had to get in the strap, and he wouldn't let me back in the strap after the first round. I just don't. I don't know. Maybe with Ermes, if Ermes can get him in a strap, it might be something different. But I don't know that much about Ermes' left hand, to be honest with you.
I see.
I feel like, I think Artem's got the number 1 rank in the world, and I think he deserves it. He's really good.
Yeah. And now a little bit more provocative questions, because before Todzilla match with Prudnik, always like the guys from the West support athletes from the West. It's normally.
It's what we do. Yeah.
Yes, guys from the East do the same. They support guys from the East, but. Like a lot of guys, when you hear somebody ask about this match, some guys even say it's a mismatch, but okay, it's their right to say like they want, it's their opinion, but some guys say that just Evgeny has more like kind of weapons, more possibilities to go, like
bigger arsenal.
Bigger arsenal. And Todd was very great. Like everybody say that he's in a good shape. He is comes here, and Evgeny showed his dominance. Yeah,
Yes.
he dominated the match and even don't use his arsenal, just some little part of.
And he
it.
did something different each round just to prove it.
Yeah, just to prove and just to feel how it is like.
Yeah.
So he rubbed the head of the Zio like he promised. Yeah, and the next match will be John and Evgeny. Yeah, it's already confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about? It's for you. It's like good match, mismatch, or you propose in your mind that it will be better. It change John, for example, for Kurdecha or somebody else.
Well, I love John. Matter of fact, when I first started arm wrestling 26 years ago, I went to John's brother's house. Sorry, excuse me. I went to Bill Brzezink's house, and I met John then. And then I trained with John for like 6 or 7 years. He'd come to my house every week, or we went to his house, just depends on where we were doing practices at that time. So I've known John for years and years and years, and he's a good friend. But I don't know if I think John and Todd would be a really good match.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Evgeny looked so crazy strong.
And then actually he's like in this category, he smaller than in top 8.
Yeah. So I think that Prudnik probably wins that match. And I hate to say that because I think John's amazing, and I hate to vote against him.
Honestly, I don't want to watch John lose again.
Yeah, nobody wants to see him lose.
Yeah, like I like Kurdecha, I like John, I like Prudnik, all of them. But always when John pulling, because he's like a special man for arm wrestling, and I want he to stay here and pull in a good way, but equal match, but not. Because it's hard to pull sometimes if we know that there's not equal match, because it's more interesting if it's equal. Yeah.
I don't know, but if John could surprise us all and be amazing that day, but the way things looked yesterday or the other day, I don't know that it'll happen. I think that Prudnik is just a little bit better right now.
Yeah, and next question, what about Prudnik and Dave, for example? If next match will be for Dave like this, I asked you before Rebas, I know your thoughts, but if it will be Dave and Prudnik, how you feel it can be?
Well, again, I think Dave is stronger, but like Prudnik made Artem look little.
That's what I want to ask.
He made him look little and not very strong, and we know he's strong, so Prudnik knows how to shut you down. He knows how to eliminate your strengths, and he probably could do the same thing to Dave. I would like to see it. It would be a fun match to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
But right now, the Prudnik we saw yesterday, it would be very hard to bet against him.
Yeah, I understand. And now, first question, for example, if we have 3 matches, Vitaly versus Dave, the first match. Second match, Vitaly versus Jerry, and Vitaly versus Gennady. Which match will be most interesting for you? Like unpredictable a little bit for you?
So Dave, Jerry, or Gennady against Vitaly?
Yeah. I also can add Morozov, but Morozov says that he wants to wait a little bit.
He wants to take a rest.
Yeah.
I think the most interesting match of those, I think the most interesting arm wrestler to watch right now could be Gennady, because of his arsenal of weapons. He can do so many different things. But I think that Jerry's the hardest one to beat of those 3, just because of his style.
Yeah.
And I think it's even going to be harder with Vitaly, because Vitaly's so long, his arm's so tall.
Yeah.
When Jerry puts pressure on that strap down in there, it's going to be he's going to be more open up.
Yeah, it's a big difference with this to lift somewhere here or like this.
Exactly. So I think that the toughest person for Vitaly to beat would be Jerry. Would be my guess.
Yeah. I actually need to say that I agree with you because of style of Jerry.
Because I'm right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of predictions, and sometimes everyone thinks that they're right. And yesterday it was a lot of people who says how I was wrong with my prediction. Yeah, sometimes it happens like that. And about you, for example, now in nearest future, what is your plan? Like you want to take a rest, or you will continue to compete? And if you want to compete again, who you want to pull about your left hand? Of course, I ask.
Well, so I've already got 2 super matches lined up. I've got one in September, right-handed, in Kansas City, against a new, I want to say young kid, but he's not really young. His name's Devin. Oh, his last name's so hard to say. Gababin.
Okay.
He's from the Kansas City area. New up-and-comer, pretty strong kid. He wanted to arm wrestle me right-handed, so I've got him in September. And then December 10th, I'm at the Monster Factory for Michael Todd's next event, and it's Corey West and I.
Oh, I'm so excited actually about this match.
So that's for the number 1 spot in North America. Corey's number 2 right now. So that's my main goal right now. I've got the right-handed match coming up, but sorry, Devin, but I don't really care about my right hand that much.
Yes.
So I will train, and I train my right hand all the time, just as much as I do my left. But I will be focused on that match with Corey for sure. Corey's a good friend of mine. We get along great, and we've arm wrestled 2 other times in super matches, and Corey's a different person now. Since he had his bicep surgery, he has not lost.
Yeah.
He's done phenomenally. We were kind of hoping that match would be for number 1 in the world, but since I lost the other day, it's not going to be that. But so that's my what I've got planned out right now is those 2 matches. I would love to come back here again. I don't know that I will get a chance because, I mean, there's only so many left-handed matches you can put on a card, and if you don't win, you don't really earn your way back. So.
But sometimes, it's like when you pull for spot number 1, it doesn't mean that you can pull again and just a little bit later, or with somebody who also want to be there but need to deserve it to go to pull like you for spot number 1. And honestly, you and Corey for me is very interesting match. I never tried with you, We planned.
We
do our best, but it was not sent officially. With Corey, I do only little practice in Dubai after our right-handed match, and I'm really interested in what will be the level between you and Corey, how it will be looks like, because I know that Corey now, he progressed very well.
Yeah.
He's not the same Corey 1 year before, and he has fire in his eyes. He take it seriously.
Yeah,
he want to be better and better and better. So he's extra motivated, as I saw the last time in Dubai.
And he's an extremely large human being. He's a monster of a man. Yeah,
he actually was 200 kilos in Dubai. He was the biggest man there. Not about frame, but about weight. Absolutely. And his arm, is pretty big. When Levan shake his hand, I remember the moment he says to me, "Be careful with this," like this. We also compare.
He's just big. Yeah, he's thick everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it will be a very interesting match for me, honestly.
Yeah. So that's what I've got planned right now. There are a few Europeans that I would love to arm wrestle. I would still like to arm wrestle you sometime.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I'm interested in Salayev.
Yeah.
I think he and I have similar body styles. We arm wrestle similarly. I think that'd be a fun match. He looks like a beast. He looks like a good kid too. He's not very old either, is he? 25-ish, somewhere.
Yeah. He's, I don't know sure how much he's old, but yeah.
So he'd be fun to arm wrestle. Seems like a really good guy. Of course, I've always wanted to arm wrestle Trubin. I think he's a great guy. I don't know how that'd turn out. I think I would match up pretty good with him. And then obviously Vitaly, all the big names I'd like to have a chance at.
Of course, yeah. It's like how it should be. Like you have a good things in your mind, because you have like the different mountains. I would say, and now it's can be one interesting match, but also second interesting match, and it can be all of them can be very interesting actually.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you so much for being here with us, being here was like a part of this big show. I want to say big thanks for Evgeny for organizing it. He organized it actually pretty well.
Amazingly.
Like everyone, I hear that it was like better and better, like every next competition. Here I'm a first time like a guest, but I enjoyed it a lot. Guys, you make the cool show on the stage, and he makes everything perfectly, like in organizing questions. So
it wasn't just the arm wrestling event. Like the press conference was fun. The face-off part was fun. I've never done any of that kind of stuff, and I really enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun. And Evgeny, people that hate on Evgeny, I don't understand that at all.
Also the same, because he connected the people. He connected everybody. He takes everybody to the dinner. Like everybody find everyone like a little bit closer. After that, and also press conference was cool, absolutely. And it's not like just a competition where you go, compete, and leave. It's like you hang out with everybody.
You get to go and see your brothers from different parts of the world. It's amazing, and Evgeny does this for the sport. He doesn't.
Because
it's not like he's making money, or he doesn't care about money. He wants the sport to be better,
bigger and better.
And people that are upset, like, well, our live feed dropped out 3 times. Who cares? So you spent $12. You spend more than that at McDonald's for lunch. You know?
Come on, guys.
It doesn't matter.
If I even delayed all parts in Ermes in my mind, I will still say that for this show, it's cool. If I love it, I take it. If you like it, just take it. It's not difference. Of course, sometimes if you don't have this money for this, so you will.
There are people in the world that are in that situation.
But when you just want like for free, guys, they spend a lot of energy, time, and everything to organize this. So we need to just understand this.
We had dinner last night with Evgeny, and he said just for core sports, he had to pay them $25,000 just for that. That doesn't include all of us getting here. That doesn't include anything. Just core sports. The production of the event was $25,000, and they want Evgeny to do that for free. Like it doesn't make sense. The way people I don't get it. I mean, it frustrates me actually.
Sometimes, but I hope and believe that people. Okay, I want to say that they become smarter. Not actually always people become smart and understand everything, but I hope they start to understand this and understand how it works. That they help actually when they buy pay-per-view officially and normally watch the matches. That they help to organize it better in the future. So they have help also for themselves if they enjoy the show and they like it. So it's kind of good.
Well, I paid for the pay-per-view and I watched it live. I mean, I still gave it because I felt like it's my responsibility to support that. And $15 is not a big deal for me to give to the sport I love. And I know there are people out there that maybe can't afford that, but the majority of the people that are complaining, they can afford $15.
So in this moment, I wanna say that probably if it becomes better and better, so I don't know what to expect. The next East of the West, it becomes bigger. Also, we have the matches in King of the Table. Also huge event, cool event, and now I feel that our wrestling becomes a little bit bigger. So I think that we can expect something cool.
There's some good things going on. Neil Pickup's doing these fun things with Arm Wars. We've got some really big promoters out there doing really cool things for our sport, and I think it's just going to go better. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you one more time, and congratulations to be part of this. That was my pleasure. And Evgeny, thank you so much. This was an amazing situation, and I really do appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you, Evgeny.